Hi, welcome back to the channel, TrainStation 2. We have this first in the Christmas event 5th competition with 7,886 star keys and more than sufficient to secure a legendary, an epic, as well as a rare train for my ETO strategy. And not to mention, we have that 1,000 coins, currently at 1750. I can also exchange for another legendary. So that's the status for now. It's really important that you get all the star keys because, as I mentioned in my previous video as well, we won't know what's coming on for us for the 4 surprise mystery trains. At this juncture, we still don't know whether they'll be given to us free, because in this event you see normally there are 5, now there are 9 trains for collection. So I'm really hoping they are asking us to either exchange them for using star keys. If not, hopefully they're giving us for free. So I'm really hoping for that, and I'm really worried that they may be asking for event coins. So I'm not going to spend a single event coin. So currently I've gained about 1,750 event coins from the 5 first in the competitions, which gives 350 each. So I got 5 of the win, so it's 1750. I'm keeping all, otherwise I would have spent it on exchanging for gold, but I'm not going to do that because I really don't know what's going to happen in a couple of days, whether they require event coins or not. So I'll wait out for that, and meanwhile I'm trying my best to still maintain the completion rate below 100% in the map as well. What I'm trying to do is to suppress the progression. Currently at 193. I do not want to hit 200 so fast because this event is really long. I think one of the longest I've played. So we still got a I think a very long journey of 10 over days. So it's really important. I think we got to maintain at the current region, which I have the strongest fleet. Otherwise, once I hit on to region 5, I will have a very tiny fleet and may lose in all the competition. So far there are 5 competitions already. Probably there'll be another one. Let's say normally we have 7. I don't know. To be frank, I don't know how many competitions there will be, given the fact that normally it's either 5 or 7. But looking at the duration of this event itself, I really don't know how many more competitions will that be. So could it be double, or maybe 10 or 14? I'm not too sure. So nonetheless, I'm trying my best to get first every time, so that gain all those event coins. You'll be wondering how do I get the first position. Always start late in competitions, so that you will not mix together with a group of really competitive competitors, I must say. So in this group, I was surprised to find one with a Santa Claus icon, which means that he must have won first in one of the competition. I think at the end of the day he came in 3rd, so I was quite glad for that. But what surprised me was the one that is overtaken me in the midst of the competition. That actually surprised me a bit. So I worked really hard, and of course I must admit I do spend 25 gems to engage an additional dispatcher. Otherwise it may be very tough given the high number of quantities that they're requesting. Alright, so now you can see the timing wise is still 1 day before the end of the competition. So I'm just going to show you what I did for this 5th competition itself. Always I'll pack the factory, like example this iron mill, to the brim, so that I'll get all the things that I require. Still after 2 hours later, 22 hours before the end of competitions, I'll try to see what else we need to fulfill in the competition itself. So I understand we need to have this plastics delivered. The good thing there is that I have lots of them in the factory, so it's really important you should fill all the factories, I mean all, not just 1 or 2, all your 6 factories, if you have 6 of them, to the brim with all the items that they can make, which you can't fetch from the instantly from any factory. So like for example, steel you can fetch, copper you can't, then you better make copper. Alright, so likewise, if you require timber, you can get it straight away. So do not so-called manufacture timber in the factory will be wasting inventory spaces. Alright, you can see them struggling to fight off the one of the competitors, which is really strong. He has overtaken me initially by easily 200 over EP points, so I was really shocked. So I'm trying my best with the additional dispatcher. So managed to hit 194 already. 6 more level ups before we hit 200, and I gotta leave my current region to region 5. So I'm trying to maintain that. I'm going to suppress all the EP, IE collection, so that eventually we will not progress so fast. But again, we are in competition, so you can't really suppress that. So in a way, it's really crucial. I mean, you got to balance things, right? You got to win competition, and yet you can't really get too much of the experience. So this is really tough. You can gain EPs, but you don't want experience. No, there's no such thing, right? So you really got to have a fine balance. So starting late itself allows me to progress slower. The other thing I'm trying to do is that I'll watch my competitors. If they are fast, then probably I got to move faster. If they are slow, I'll try to delay my progression, because otherwise once I hit 200, I'm really fearful that I will lose all the competitions and almost impossible to progress on. So for now, you can see they are asking for Christmas items, and really I think the quantity is not easy. Okay, so at this juncture, I've not collected the sufficient star keys for the rare train yet. So at this juncture, I have sufficient keys only for 1 legendary, 1 epic, right, with star keys, and another legendary using the event coins, right? So at the end of this video, I managed to gain sufficient coins that will allows me to claim the rare one. So I'm really going to work on subsequently for the common, which is just 500 star keys. But that said, I understand, or you would have seen that in the events rewards store, there are 4 more trains. So really wondering what's going to happen for that. Alright, so alright, still got 11 hours 54 minutes, so half a day more to go. Really going to, oh no, it's not a huge quantities of flour, but again, as I mentioned, flour is something you can grab straight from the factory. So really you're going to work on those factory missions, delivery, to get the factories in shape. Alright, so we have finally surpassed the leading competitor, and a very tiny margin. I'm going to make a big gap. As I mentioned, before I sleep, I made about 200 gap. He caught up, he created another 200 over gap for me, and now I'm going to catch up with him, and I'm going to increase the gap to probably 200 plus to 300. So that makes it impossible to supersede my first position. So here we are with all these Christmas items, because those are the requirement right now. Okay, we're going to check out the warehouse spacing. I think we're going to remove probably some coal and copper ore, because otherwise we can't move. So this is a problem with a tiny warehouse spacing. If you are suffering the same fate like me, it all because you did not work on the population. So likewise, I didn't work on the population when I had the earlier part of my game. So only very late when I entered region 3, then I worked on those 5 building techniques to beef up my population and henceforth my warehouse spacing. So it's really important, if you're currently in region 1 or 2, please go and work on the 5 building technique to go and increase their population so they have a good warehouse size. A lot of people below my current level would have already hit 10,000 population or more, but I'm just at 6,000 plus, so I'm not doing that well in terms of population. So I really wish you do well. Please go and increase your population. Go and feed that greedy captain every now and then, request and get those blue maps. Do up the 5 building with the specialized building in the center and surrounded by 4 basic buildings. Then do all the upgrade requests, and your population will go rocket high. And with that, upgrade your warehouse by collecting all those golds that you have from the region, and you have a very strong foundation of a good size warehouse. So that's really important. If you're suffering a tiny warehouse like me right now, make use of your factories. You have 6 factories, right? Input and output tray can act as interim warehouse spacing. Input tray act as the raw materials warehouse, and output tray act as the completed finished product as a warehouse. Alright, so that's how I utilize the warehouse space. And sometimes I just got to so-called store the production. Right, once I store the production, you can't move. Then I'm going to fix all the raw materials in the input tray, and as and when I require them, I'll just undo that production request and I get back my raw materials. Alright, so that's how I normally do it. Sometimes you did see me doing timber, that's because I just want to store the raw wood itself. Alright, so that's the reason the logs getting will take a while, a couple of minutes here and there. And if I need them for making of let's say glue, that's one way to store all the logs in the timber factory. Okay, so don't be surprised if you see me doing that. It's not because I wanted timber, I can just grab straight from the factory. It's because I wanted to store wood logs in my timber factory. That's about it. And if I don't do that, I'm stuck because my warehouse is tiny. Right, so you can see my warehouse is filled again. I really got to shift out things to get delivered. Otherwise, even this Christmas factory is not working. So we got really got to plan every single move, because sometimes if you get too much on certain things, you just couldn't move at all. So there's really something that you're going to suffer. Alright, so here we are, created about 230 over gap. I think it's a really good gap right now, given the fact that it's only 1.5 hours left. So I'm really happy. Probably he's in a different region sleeping, I don't know, probably still is lumber. So I'm better not waking up, so that he can continue to sleep and probably have a bit of shock when he wake up. So with more than 700-800 plus keys, we are able to so-called collect all the trains. So just to mention, regardless how many times you win, like me at 5 times, it's still the same Santa Claus icon having exclamation mark. Alright, so we managed to have wins, and now we are in the regional railroad 3. Alright, thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe.